Hey ladies and gentlemen, welcome. This is HD and I'm here to bring you guys game 2 of EG.Puma versus Mill.Stephano and the semifinals of Assembly Winter ASUS Republic of Gamers tournament that was out in Finland last week. Hope you guys have enjoyed the cast so far. I am so excited. We have Antigua Shipyard as our next map. I did forget to look up the racial statistics, but as I quote from some of the comments in the section down below, the only racial stat that matters is Korea versus everyone else. And if that's the stat you're looking at, then Puma's definitely got your vote. But hey, I've got to be the neutral commentator, and I've got to say, Stephano did just win the first game, and he won it quite convincingly after, I suppose, he did take some damage. He did look like he was set back, but wow, what an engagement at the end of that battle, that last battle with the infested Terrans and the fungal growth over that Terran ball. Just a perfect use of infested Terrans and infestors and fungal growth and all of the above. You don't very much see that often at all. And for a Zerg player like Stephano to be able to do that just shows, even though he's behind, does not matter. Does not matter if you're Stephano. If you can get into the late game, you can out-control and out-micro your opponent. Now, it is time for game 2. This is a best of 5. If Stephano wins this next game, then he is only one game away from going into the grand finals, which will guarantee him at least $6,000. $6,000 here in this tournament. So we'll just have to see what happens here. He has gotten his drone inside of the main of Puma. Puma right now trying to get the barracks and the refinery up. And this map is Antigua Shipyard. Like I said before, I didn't look up the stats, but if you had to ask me, I would say that this is a Zerg favorite map. Just by experience, just by watching a lot of games on this map before in the past, I do definitely feel like it's a huge Zerg favorite map, around 55 or 60%. I'll look it up and tell you guys in the next video if I remember to. So yes, that'll be my plan. And I do have another Red Bull. I did grab another one, 8.4 ounces, going down my esophagus and energizing me for this next cast. And still have 2 more cans left to go from 7-Eleven. So alright, we'll see what happens here. It looks like Puma is going for the orbital command. Hasn't decided to grab the expansion quite yet, whereas Stephano has decided to grab a natural. And he will go for the spawning pool inside of the main, also getting a gas as well. So nothing too crazy so far. We don't see any craziness like we saw from Lucky against Mana, where he decided to expand into the natural. That was a one-shot wonder play, man. I actually don't know how many people, if I could, I would, but I really am curious to know how many people out there, after seeing that video, decided to go on Battle.net and do that exact same thing to a Protoss or Terran. Because if you did, raise your hand now. Obviously I can't see, but you know, that's, you know, kudos to you for trying out new builds, new strategies, and I'm sure it probably failed. Because I would imagine you have to have perfect timing in order to pull something like that off. And not to mention the micro involved and the macro involved in controlling a base on the left and a base on the top right. That's pretty hard to do. So, you know, my thumbs up to you. I give you my 2 thumbs up for trying out a new strategy, but I know it's really hard to do, so keep at it, and hopefully we see some more cool builds here in this game. Puma now making his way into the main of the Zerg with his first Reaper. He did open up with a Reaper opening, and Stephano doesn't have his Queen quite out yet, but he surrounds the Reaper with drones! Wow! What the heck? That was really nice. And Stephano for a second there looked like he was going to scurry away from the Reaper. You know, usually drones run the opposite way, or hover, whatever they do. They hover away from the Reaper because the Reaper is like the drone killer. But not these drones, man. Not Stephano's drones. Just turned around and manned up. Said, we're doing it live. And they took out that Reaper. So nice job right there by Stephano. Meanwhile, Puma here, what is he going to do to go ahead and avenge the loss of that Reaper? Going to go ahead and go into a factory and start to pump out Hellions, as well as getting another command center inside the main, actually going for a macro CC opening here. So he's going to go for uber economy, and if Stephano scouts this out, I would imagine Stephano is going to try to punish this, but can he scout it out? That's the question here that we're all looking to answer. Can he see the command center? No, he will not, and that's just showing the impeccableness of Puma. Also killed off that Zergling there, but really just so smart, putting the command center right on the bare bones edge of vision should a Zergling run up there. And so it's completely not scouted. And you might be asking, why didn't Puma just put it all the way in the back here? Well, then the Overlord would easily see it. So this is really the most hidden location you can possibly think of for that CC. So really good game awareness and understanding the mechanics and the I guess the coding, if you will, of StarCraft 2. And just exploiting it to the maximum. So this command center is still remaining hidden. Will that Zergling get inside or not? Oh, this could be huge! No, the supply depot walls raise up. Puma just taunting that Zergling, letting the Zergling run up the ramp, because if the depots were raised up before that, it would have just, you know, ran around back here. But he trapped it, let it run up the ramp, and then killed it. So nice plays by Puma. And Stephano gonna go ahead and go into double Evo chamber openings here. No surprise there. He really wants to get the +1 melee and +1 Carapace upgrade going. We'll see if he gets Carapace first this time again. That was really intriguing to me. Also like the positioning. Yes, he is. Also like the positioning of the Evo chambers, because if you think about it, that walls off potential run-bys, sort of. That definitely walls off Hellion run-bys, and you can kind of close this off with Queens or whatever you really want. Now I'm trying to figure out why he gets the armor upgrade first for Zerglings, and if I figure it out, I'll let you guys know, but right now I can't quite put my thumb down on it. Hold that thought. We do have some Hellions running around here. It looks like Puma dropping the Comsat. He knows that there's creep tumors here, and that's really smart, just to prevent the creep from spreading and prevent the Zerg infection from going all over the map. That's what Puma's trying to do right now, and those four or five Hellions are tasked with that duty, and they're performing quite admirably. Now, back in the main of Stephano grabbing a macro hatchery of his own. How is he going to out macro Puma? That's my question right now. Forget the armor upgrade first, because his melee upgrade is right behind it. Forget all that stuff. How is he going to out macro Puma, who has gone for macro CC? Because if we look at the SCV count right now, usually most Zergs would be ahead by about, I'd say 15 harvesters or so. Which actually Stephano is doing a pretty good job of staying ahead of Puma, all things considered, since Puma does have 3 command centers. But nevertheless, I still feel like Puma has gotten away with murder almost, just getting out with this command center and absolutely not being scouted at all. He has no idea. Stephano has no idea that there's a macro CC up, and now Puma's about to land it. So the timing that Stephano's getting the third, well, guess what? The command center is about to be down already. So the Terran definitely has a base advantage right now, and he has map control advantage with these, I don't know, 5 or 6 Hellions or so. Just a spectacular game so far. Dropping another Comsat. Is Stephano done with these Hellions? Is he going to kill him off now? Yes, he will. What a surround. Can he get the rest or not? He should be able to, and there it is. So he closes out the chapter on that book, and finally able to go ahead and spread his creep. So good job right there from him. And whoa! Look at that! Banelings! I rarely ever see Banelings from Stephano. So to see Banelings right now is actually kind of cool, because usually Stephano's the kind of guy who loves his Zerglings and his Infestors and then into Ultras. We saw that in the last game. But it seems like this time around Stephano is trying to go into Baneling mode, and that could make things very, very interesting, because a lot of players know that Stephano doesn't rely too heavily on Banelings, and this might catch Polt by surprise, as he's really building up a huge Marine force, but not that many tanks. He's only got 1 factory, and he's actually supply blocked in a huge way too. So that secondary tank will not be out in a long, long time, and this massive Baneling force, should Stephano decide to just roll in with all of his Banelings, I would predict absolute disaster for Puma. So this is a really nice trick coming out from Stephano. He's also even getting infested Terrans, or I always call them infested Terrans, infestors with pathogen glands. So he is going to also have fungal growth combined with his army. And there's the Comsat. There is the Comsat. So that is something that Terran players can always do whenever they need to. They drop the Comsat, they see what they're dealing with, and now Puma should know that he's got to ramp up tank production to deal with those Banelings. Also going to drop inside the main here, completely hidden. It doesn't seem like Stephano knows about this. He should see the Marines, but not reacting in time. Now the Marines are inside the main, popping off a Queen. How many more drone kills can they get? I don't think they're going to get much at all. Just 1 total this game, 1 worker total this game has gone down for both sides combined. So nothing too serious, and Puma escapes with the Queen kill intact. And he'll probably unload the Marines and heal them up outside of the Zerg territory. So that's what he's doing right now, and they begin to heal. Stephano, though, will leave some of his forces inside the main. That's just to combat that medevac, should it decide to go back inside and try to harass once again. So Stephano just making sure everything's covered, and look at that, 33 Banelings on the way for Stephano. He is about to have a massive army of roly-polies, and can Puma squash them or not before they become a danger, before they become a threat? The medevac coming back inside the main again, but the Zerglings and Banelings are ready to go, and I don't think that drop is going to be successful at all. But Puma micros immediately, only loses 1 Marine right there and saves it so he can drop once again. But he's got to worry about the front of his base right now. He's getting 5 foot, but I was gonna say 4 bunkers, and I saw 5. 5 bunkers up right now. Infested Terrans absorbing the damage first from the Z-Shank, and here comes Stephano, just shoving everything he's got down the throat of the Puma. I don't know if Puma's gonna be able to hold this off or not. There's so many Banelings and not enough Z-Shanks for Puma. The Terran army is going down. Now the Terran bases are going down. Now the Terran SCVs are going to die as well, and the SCVs have to run for it. Both the third and the natural are under attack. This is a complete assault into the enemy lines of Puma, and I don't know if Puma's going to be able to recover from this, ladies and gentlemen, or not. 35 workers have gone down this game so far. The third has been raided, plundered, and looted. It is up in the air right now. Meanwhile, there is a small task force. This is the original drop army that went from the main. It's now chilling at the middle of the map, but that is not even going to have any mercy as Stephano takes no prisoners of war, kills that army as well, and completely overrunning Puma in game 2. That was so one-sided, and Stephano now, he has got momentum, he's got confidence, he just rolled Puma, and we are going to roll right on to game number 3 of this set. Wow, I can't believe Stephano did that. I hope you guys enjoyed. We have game 3 coming up next. If Stephano wins that one, he is guaranteed into the grand finals. Puma's got to make a comeback, and will he? Can he? I don't know. We'll have to find out. HD signing out to game 3.